Do you ever feel like your mind is working against you? Like you're stuck in a loop of negative thoughts that you can't escape? You're not alone. Even Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful leaders in history and a Stoic philosopher, faced these battles. He dealt with betrayal, criticism, and overwhelming responsibilities every day. Yet, instead of letting negativity take over, he developed strategies to master his thoughts and emotions. His wisdom has lasted for centuries because it works, and today, I'll show you how you can use it to kill negative thinking for good. Here's why this is important. Your mind is your greatest ally or your worst enemy. When you let negative thinking take control, it drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and holds you back from living your best life. But Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to break free. In this video, we'll explore simple but powerful strategies inspired by Marcus Aurelius. You'll learn how to recognize and question your negative thoughts, shift your perspective, and take action to overcome them. Stay with me for the next few minutes. You'll discover how to turn your mind into your greatest tool, not your biggest problem. By the end, you'll have a clear path to overcoming negativity and finding peace, no matter what life throws at you. Let's dive in. Strategy 1. Identify negative thinking patterns. Let's start by talking about something Marcus Aurelius understood deeply: negative thinking. As the ruler of the Roman Empire, Marcus faced criticism, betrayal, and constant challenges. Yet, he didn't let negativity consume him. Instead, he looked inward and realized that most of our suffering comes not from the world around us, but from how we think about it. In his famous book Meditations, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is life-changing. It means that while we can't control everything that happens, we can always control how we react. The first step in killing negative thinking is to identify it. Often, we don't even realize how much negativity we let into our minds. It can sneak in as self-doubt, like thinking, "I'm not good enough." It might appear as anxiety about the future, like, "What if everything goes wrong?" Or it could show up as dwelling on the past, thinking, "I should have done things differently." Do any of these sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. We all have negative thoughts. The problem is that when we don't notice them, they can take over and shape how we feel and act. Marcus Aurelius was surrounded by people and events he couldn't control, but he didn't waste time blaming others or worrying about things outside his power. Instead, he focused on managing his own thoughts. He trained his mind to recognize when negativity crept in and stopped it before it grew. Here's how you can do the same. Start by observing your thoughts. Pay attention to what's going through your mind when you're feeling stressed, frustrated, or overwhelmed. Write these thoughts down if it helps. This step is about awareness, not judgment. You're not trying to fight the thoughts yet, just noticing them. For example, if you're thinking, "I'll never succeed," write it down. If you feel like, "Everyone is against me," notice that too. The goal is to catch these patterns so they don't run on autopilot. Recognizing negative thoughts is powerful because it gives you a choice. Once you know what you're dealing with, you can decide how to respond instead of letting the thoughts control you. As Marcus reminds us, the mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. Even negative thoughts can be turned into fuel for growth when we face them head-on. So, take a moment to reflect. What negative thoughts have been holding you back? Write them down, and you've already taken the first step to defeating them. Strategy 2. Question your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." What does this mean? It's simple. The way we think about something is what causes most of our suffering, not the thing itself. Think about a time when you were anxious or upset. Maybe you failed a test, got into an argument, or made a mistake at work. It's not the failure or mistake that hurts the most. It's the thoughts that come after. You tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess things up," or "things will never get better." These thoughts make the situation worse. But here's the good news. Your thoughts are not facts. They're just opinions your mind is creating in the moment. Marcus teaches us that we have the power to question these opinions and replace them with better ones. The next time you catch yourself in a negative spiral, try asking these 3 questions. 1. Is this thought true? Often, the things we tell ourselves aren't even based on reality. For example, you might think everyone is judging me, but in truth, most people are too busy with their own lives to pay attention. 2. Is this thought helpful? Even if a thought feels true, it doesn't mean it's useful. Telling yourself, I'll never succeed, doesn't help you move forward. It just keeps you stuck. Replace it with something more constructive, like, what small step can I take today to improve? 3. How would a Stoic see this situation? Imagine you're Marcus Aurelius standing in your shoes. Would he waste energy on self-doubt? Or would he focus on what he can control? A Stoic might say, this is a challenge, but I can handle it. I've faced difficulties before, and I've grown stronger each time. Here's an example to make it clearer. Let's say you're thinking, I'll fail if I try something new. Stop and question it. Is it true? No, you can't predict the future. Is it helpful? Definitely not. It's stopping you from taking action. What would Marcus say? He'd remind you that failure is just a step toward learning and growth. By questioning your thoughts, you take away their power. Instead of letting negativity control you, you can choose to think in ways that empower you. Remember, your mind is a tool, not your master. Start using it to build yourself up, not tear yourself down. As Marcus said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Strategy 3. Practice gratitude and perspective. Marcus Aurelius believed that gratitude is a powerful way to overcome negativity. In his writings, he often reflected on the things he had, instead of focusing on what he lacked. He said, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. This idea can help us see life as a gift and shift our focus from what's wrong to what's right. When we face negative thoughts, it's easy to fall into a spiral of complaints. We think about what's missing, what went wrong, or how things should have been. But Marcus teaches us to step back and see the bigger picture. He reminds us that life itself is temporary. The time we have left is precious, and we shouldn't waste it stuck in negativity. One simple way to practice gratitude is to start your day by listing 3 things you're thankful for. These don't have to be big things. It could be something as small as enjoying a good cup of coffee, having a roof over your head, or the support of a friend. Focusing on these small blessings can shift your mind from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Marcus also encourages us to think about the struggles of others. He said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. This perspective can help you see that many people have challenges far greater than your own. By realizing this, you can begin to feel more grateful for the life you have. Another Stoic exercise to shift your perspective is called negative visualization. Imagine losing something you value, your health, your freedom, or a loved one. This isn't to make you sad, but to help you realize how valuable these things are while you still have them. When you do this, you'll start to appreciate what's already in your life instead of always chasing after more. The key is to make gratitude and perspective a daily habit. Every morning, reflect on what's good in your life. Every evening, think about the lessons you learned that day. Over time, this practice will rewire your mind to focus on positivity instead of negativity. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius teaches us, life is too short to waste on complaints and negativity. By practicing gratitude and shifting your perspective, you can train your mind to see the good and overcome the bad. Strategy 4. Take action, not overthink. Sometimes negative thinking keeps us stuck in our heads, overthinking everything. We wonder if we're good enough, if we'll succeed, or if it's too late to start something new. The more we think, the more we get trapped in a cycle of doubt and fear. This is where Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, has powerful advice. Marcus believed in taking action, not spending time worrying. He wrote in Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, don't overthink or wait for the perfect moment. Just start doing what you know is right. Negative thoughts often come from fear or perfectionism. We tell ourselves, "I'm not good enough," or "it's too difficult." But the key to overcoming those thoughts is action. Whenever you feel stuck or negative thoughts start to take over, take one small step toward what you want to do. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with something simple. For example, if you're afraid to speak up at work or school, don't stress about giving a huge presentation. Just start by speaking in a small meeting or sharing one idea. This action, no matter how small, shifts your focus from thinking about your fear to taking control of the situation. Another example is with personal goals like getting healthier. Instead of thinking, "I'll never lose weight" or "I'm not strong enough," take action by starting with one healthy meal or a short walk. You don't need to run a marathon tomorrow. Just do something small to show yourself that it's possible to take control. Action breaks the cycle of negative thoughts and builds confidence over time. Marcus understood that our thoughts can hold us back, but action is the antidote. By focusing on what we can do right now, we start to push past fear and doubt. It's like lifting weights. The more we do it, the stronger we get. Negative thinking is just like an obstacle, and the best way to get past it is to take action. Remember, taking action doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, it's often the imperfect steps that lead to growth. Marcus would say that success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about doing what you can right now. So the next time negative thoughts try to hold you back, don't waste time thinking about it. Take a small step forward, and soon you'll notice how much stronger you feel. The more you take action, the more your mind will shift from overthinking to doing. And as Marcus would remind us, it's through action that we find true freedom from negative thinking. Strategy 5. Train your mind daily. To really stop negative thinking, you have to train your mind just like you would train your body. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, understood that the mind is like a muscle that needs daily exercise to stay strong and focused. In his personal journal, Meditations, he reminds us, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means that the more we think negative thoughts, the more negative our mindset becomes. But the good news is, just like any habit, you can change it. The key is daily practice. Every day, you have a chance to choose what you put into your mind. If you want to shift away from negativity, start by building small, consistent habits that strengthen your mind and keep you grounded in positive thinking. One powerful habit Marcus followed was morning meditation. Before he began his day, he would reflect on what was ahead, reminding himself of his goals and his purpose. This practice helped him approach each day with calm and focus, no matter what challenges came his way. You can do the same. In the morning, take a few minutes to clear your mind, focus on your breath, and set your intentions for the day. Think about what you want to accomplish and, more importantly, who you want to be while you do it. This simple practice can help you start your day with clarity and a sense of control over your thoughts. Another Stoic practice that Marcus used was journaling. At the end of each day, he would reflect on his actions, thoughts, and feelings. By looking back on the day, he could see where he had let negative thinking take hold and what he could have done differently. This reflection process allowed him to learn and grow from his experiences. You can try journaling as well. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what went well today? What could I have handled better? How can I change my thinking tomorrow to stay more positive and focused? Additionally, consider incorporating affirmations into your daily routine. Stoics believed in using affirmations to remind themselves of their values and strengths. For example, you might repeat to yourself, "I have control over my thoughts," or "I will focus on what I can change and let go of what I can't." These affirmations serve as reminders that you have the power to choose your mindset. Training your mind daily won't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll begin to notice a shift. You'll become less reactive to negative thoughts and more focused on the present moment. Just as Marcus Aurelius used his daily habits to stay grounded, you can use these same techniques to stop negativity before it takes hold of you. The more you train your mind, the stronger and more positive it will become. Marcus Aurelius taught us that our thoughts have incredible power over our lives. When we let negative thinking control us, we end up feeling stuck, anxious, and unhappy. But the good news is we have the power to change this. Marcus faced incredible challenges as a Roman emperor, yet he found ways to master his mind and emotions. His teachings are not just for philosophers, they're practical tools we can use every day. To start, it's important to recognize the negative thoughts that hold us back. Once we identify them, we can question whether they are true or helpful. Often, these thoughts are simply fears or judgments that don't reflect reality. When we change the way we view situations, we can stop letting them control us. Another key lesson from Marcus is the power of gratitude. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, shift your focus to what's right in your life. Practicing gratitude helps us appreciate the present and put our challenges into perspective. It's not about ignoring the tough times, but rather about realizing there's always something to be thankful for, even in difficult moments. Taking action is another essential part of overcoming negativity. Instead of wasting time overthinking, do something, no matter how small. Progress, even in tiny steps, creates momentum that moves us forward and helps clear away negative thoughts. Finally, Marcus reminds us that training our minds is an ongoing process. It requires daily practice, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply pausing to reset our thoughts. With time, we can build mental habits that make negativity less powerful and positive thinking more natural. By following Marcus Aurelius' Stoic wisdom, we can regain control over our minds and create a life that's focused on what truly matters. It's time to stop letting negative thoughts run your life. Take charge just like Marcus did,